Thank you, Madam Acting President. The matter I rise to speak on this afternoon is one that will be of importance to all those South Australians who value our open public space. That is the future of the Festival Plaza. Just last week, the Minister for Planning, the Honourable Nick Champion MP, told the Advertiser that the Walker Corporation had lodged plans for a second office tower on the Festival Plaza. That's on top, or next to, the 29-storey tower that has already been approved for the site, the tower that is already on the way but running behind schedule. Mr President, it is an outrage that our city's prime civic space is being used to host one private office tower, let alone two. It was the Wetherill Labor government that first approved the Walker Corporation's construction of this tower back in 2012. In fact, they granted the Walker Corporation exclusive use over that site. That was our public land, Madam Acting President, our public land being gifted to a billionaire. Indeed, the South Australian taxpayer will be contributing more than $250 million to facilitate this private takeover of our public land. $250 million of taxpayer funds to gift to a private corporation to help them take over our public land. It is an outrage. It's a disgrace. In a city where there are already so many vacant office buildings, it beggars belief that one of our key civic sites will be used in this way, particularly when one considers that it's on the Adelaide Parklands, our nationally heritage-listed parklands, arguably the most valuable real estate in South Australia. This space could have been returned to the parklands for a fraction of the cost. This tower will cast a long shadow over our historic Parliament House and the new Festival Centre. But I mentioned earlier, Madam Acting President, the role of the Wetherill government, but this has been a bipartisan project, a project between the two major parties. Indeed, last year the Liberals approved an extra 2 storeys on the tower, and back in 2020 they reduced the number of trees the Walker Corporation were required to build, and the required public contribution increased by another $20 million. And of course, we know that this new tower won't be paying any rates. The Walker Corporation will be exempt from paying rates to the City of Adelaide because the building will be on Crown land. And the Advertiser has estimated that that will be a loss of revenue to the local council of $150,000 every year. And now the government is actively considering a second tower for this site. It's a disgrace. It seems, Mr President, that whatever developers want in this state, they get. We have a planning system that is designed to serve the interests of the big end of town at the expense of the public good. What say do the people of South Australia get? None. What say does the Parliament get? Well, you guessed it, Mr President, we get no say whatsoever. Last year, when the Liberals announced their plans to rezone the Adelaide Parklands to allow further commercial development along the riverbank, I introduced a private member's bill that would have prevented rezoning of our parklands without parliamentary approval. What happened to that bill, you may ask, Mr President? Well, it was blocked. Surprise, surprise, it was blocked by the Labor and Liberal parties, the two parties that are in the pocket of the development class here in our state. The reason is very clear. Both of the major parties want an unfettered right to develop our public land, to carve off the parklands and sell it off to the highest bidder. It is an absolute disgrace, Mr President. The community is ill-served by this planning regime, and I urge the government to think again, to listen to the will of the community when it comes to our public spaces, to reject a proposal for yet another office tower on the Festival Plaza, to actually show some imagination when it comes to our public space, and to treat the community with the respect that they deserve and to give them a say, to stop giving away our public land to developers.